It's good to get to understand, what does my husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend thrive in? And if this is their main love language, you have a duty every day to affirm them of who they are. Real Vibe with Imani is back, this time bigger and better. As you can see, we didn't have this last year. So right now we are doing both a podcast, which is an audio of the video. So please find the link below. And you know what? People are so excited about Valentines. I'm so excited about Valentines. And I just want to prepare you. It's a few days too. So when you'll be watching this, I think it will just be a day to Valentines. And today we talk about love languages. Are you ready? I am. So let's just dig in. So there's this guy. He's called Dr. Chapman. He came up with the 5 love languages back in the day, I think it was 1992 when he wrote the book. And these are love languages that have helped so many couples or people in love. And the reason why I want to discuss that today is because one of the reasons why many relationships and many, marriages are failing today is because you don't really get your partner. You don't get what their love language is. I'm one person who believes that love is not just a word. Love is a doing word. Like, you have to be in action every day to show your affection, to show your love. There's also this other side whereby you do so much like for your partner and you feel like they don't see it, they don't appreciate it. It's not because they don't, actually. Many times is because you do not really get what their love language is. And as I continue to talk about this, I'll share a link. And this link is something that has been proved. It's something that has been tested, that if you do, it's like just a link you will click, then you will do a test, then you will get to know what is your love language. Everybody has a love language. And the thing is, in as much as we have 5 different love languages, actually every love language, you have that. But there's just one which is dominant in your life. So as I go about this, just know that you need to do that test. Get to know what is my love language, and then be keen to actually have a sit down with somebody that you are in a relationship with, somebody you are married to, and be open and, let them do the test as well and exchange notes. Just sit and talk about it. You know what, babe, this is my love language. I appreciate it when you do, 1, 2, 3. So the first love language is words of affirmation. There are people that their love or show of affection is when you affirm them. You give them compliments, you give them praise, you give them good names, for example. When you just, wake up from the blues and just tell somebody, you know what, I love you. That means the world. When you tell somebody, I am proud of you. There are people who just thrive when you give them words of affirmation. So it's good to get to understand, what does my husband, my wife, my girlfriend, my boyfriend thrive in? And if this is their main love language, you have a duty every day to affirm them of who they are. For example, if they've had a long day and they come home, instead of you whining about what they didn't do, why can't you just take some time and just remind them, you know what, you've done great. You are a star. Even though they failed, sometimes you may just get out, go pitch a project, but it doesn't go through. If you come home and your love language is words of affirmation, and all you get is words that break you, then you'll just be a broken person and you'll never feel that love. So if your love language is words of affirmation, speak it. Tell your partner that this is what I appreciate more, and let them do exactly that. The second love language is quality time. There's a way I interpret quality time. One is when somebody listens better. You see, there's a difference between, listening to respond and listening to understand. Somebody who listens better is somebody who will just listen first to understand, and then they're able to respond. Number 2, more eye contact. Like when I'm talking to you, if we're having a conversation, if you are not paying attention, I don't feel like we are really spending time with you. So a person whose love language is quality time, they would appreciate it that you will put, your, let's say you can actually just switch off the TV and just sit and talk. Actually, you can just come home, not do anything. A perfect date, for example, for this person would be like just coming home, take them, go spend time, take walks. Besides everything that you're doing every day, I mean, the world is so busy, yes, but you can spare some time for your loved one. Nothing else makes sense for such people but spending quality time with them. If you are a wife, for example, and your husband appreciates quality time, just plan yourself. Do your things early enough when he's home. I mean, spare time just for both of you. You can go for a movie. You can just sit, take your wine, watch a movie, just spare some time. If you're a husband, I'm not saying football ni mbaya, but everyday football, I know this one I'll get stones for, but just, spare some time off that movie if you're doing it alone and just spend some time with, your loved one. So yeah, that's more of quality time with your family, with your loved one. So yeah. The other third, which I have to explain this deeper, is receiving gifts. You see, somebody who appreciates gifts, it's not just about the cost of the gift. Mostly it's the thought that matters, honestly. I appreciate gifts. Okay, gifts are not like my main love language, but it's part of what I appreciate. But for me, it is the thought that counts, not the cost. So you don't have to break a bank to get your loved one as, a gift. It's just the thought that matters. So if your loved one or the person you are in love with, they have this as their main love language, I mean, a gift will always go a long way. The fourth one is called acts of service. And this, I believe, applies very much to people who are married and maybe they have kids, for example. If, you just pick the baby, put them to bed, that is something, your wife will appreciate if you're a man. If you are a wife, I mean, just taking the car, putting in the gas, just doing something for your loved one, acts of service go a long way. I'm one person, again, who believes that nobody is meant for the kitchen. I mean, there's nowhere where it's the wife always who has to make, the food, clean and everything. A husband can also help. One day if you just decide, today I'm making dinner, today I'm making lunch, today I'm making breakfast, or I'm even helping with the house chores, acts of service go a long way. And people who have this as the main love language in their lives would really appreciate it if you could just spare some time off your busy schedule and just offer a hand in everything that is going on in your life. The last bit is physical touch. I'm not talking about sex. No, I'm not talking about that. But like, cuddling, holding hands, hugs, kisses. Physical touch is very important. And I was just reading an article a while back that many men actually appreciate physical touch than than the rest of the love languages. I mean, if that is the main love language for your loved one, you may need to do it, more often than not. So cuddling, touching, holding hands, just touching their face. I think anything that is a physical touch, that would go a long way. So what is your love language? Have you done your tests? If you have not yet, please find the link below. Ensure you do it and have a sit down. This is something that a friend of mine encouraged me to do, and I would encourage you to do the same. Send that link to your loved one. Ask them to take that test. You will get the results immediately. Have a sit down away from your home, away from everything that might be a distraction. If you have kids, you can actually just decide to leave them at home. Go to a chilled out place and have a sit down and now exchange those results. You will be amazed at what this can do to your relationship. As I've said, there are many people today who complain that their partner is not doing enough. And this is just because they don't get each other. They don't get what the love language is for each other. So please, as we prepare, for Valentines, and love is not a one-day thing. Valentine's is a great day. It's a day that you show love, but let love be shown every day, especially when you get to learn what is the main love language for your partner. And when all that is said and done, just remember, you don't have just one love language. It's just that there's one that is dominant, but you also have the rest. Discuss with your partner and be intentional. Be very intentional to showing what love language your partner appreciates. Until next Sunday, see ya.